What's up, YouTube? This is Boxingwave. I actually had to re-record this video three times in the past 24 hours. The first one, I actually posted a link to my video for whatever reason. YouTube, and especially if you guys know YouTube, for whatever reason, this video just would not upload correctly. It just says pending. It just doesn't go 100%. It goes to 99, and I can't get it through. So I re-recorded another video in my car, but because I wasn't connected to any Wi-Fi while being out all day, it took forever to upload. And there's been some new updates about this fight between AJ and Ngannou. So now I'm back and making it for a third time. All right, but at least I can talk a little bit more about it. Anthony Joshua, Francis Ngannou, March 8th, Saudi Arabia. This is one of the things that I was saying about Saudi Arabia going into the new year and making videos and content, especially after we had found out about the Day of Reckoning card. I said that they were going to be a major key in boxing in 2024. And, you know, it's a gift and a curse at the same time, because I feel like they are the only ones providing us with consistent quality fights right now. They're making fights so quickly, and the money has to be good for these guys to agree so quickly. I mean, if you look at the Day of Reckoning card, they didn't even take a lot of time to make that card. So this goes to show that whatever is going on behind the scenes, they're making a big fights happen, and I appreciate that. I think the only bad thing about it is some of these fights I want to see in New York. Some of these fights I want to see in Vegas. You know what I mean? If anything, I'll go to Vegas. I haven't gone in a while to watch a fight, but I've been there a few times, more than enough times to watch a fight. So I want to say I love this fight, because let me start off by saying I wanted the boxing fights first. All right. But I think this fight is better than the Fury and Ngannou fight, because in that fight, we're taking the WBC champion undefeated against a guy we never seen box before. You know, and I know AJ is an elite fighter as a heavyweight. He's a former or two-time unified champion. But we've seen Francis box now, and we clearly respect him a lot more than what we did prior to the Fury fight. So if it was up to me, I would still get the fights with the boxers over this fight. All right. I just made a video the other day saying that I pretty much still want to see the Wilder fight. You know, I just want to close that story out. I know certain people won't be satisfied no matter what, but I'm one of those guys where I kind of just want to see the fight. It's still a legacy fight, in my opinion. It still would be one of Joshua's better wins. And plus, with all the drama and the build-up for the years, why let it go to waste? I understand that Deontay Wilder lost his last fight, and not only did he lose, but he pretty much got shut out. So I get why they're ready to move on. You know, I've read your comments. I know a lot of you are like, "Yo, Wave, chill with the Wilder talk. It's over." I get it. I just want to still see it, but it's not just about Wilder. It's about Hrgovic and Zhang. So Zhilei Zhang is to me the best fight for AJ, simply because Zhang is coming off the best win, you know, or the best wins. He's coming off one of the better knockouts of the year. He's coming off a win where he was a real super underdog, by far more of an underdog than any of these recent fights. I'm talking about Wilder, Parker. I'm talking about Wallin and Joshua. I'm talking about all of these fights that we've seen recently. Zhang performed in a fight where he was a heavy underdog. You know what I mean? He knocked the guy. He stopped him in the first fight and knocked him out in the second one. So I think Zhang would have been probably the best matchup. I know Zhang has lost to Hrgovic before, but Zhang's momentum right now is on fire because he had the better year. You know, and part of that has to do with Hrgovic. No one really wanted to fight him. You know, no one still. I mean, there was a period where like 6 or 7 or 8 guys that was ranked behind him in that IBF rankings didn't want to fight him. Like, they all turned the fight down at some point. And there was a lot of fighters. Michael Hunter, Joseph Parker. It was a whole long list of fighters. So I was going those fights. I made a poll. You had Triple D, you had Wilder, you had Zhang, you had Hrgovic, and I think most people picked Zhang for the Anthony Joshua fight. I totally forgot about Francis Ngannou, to be honest. And to be even more honest, I didn't think AJ would fight him anyway. You know, because I look at it like this. When Francis Ngannou fought Fury, regardless of how you feel that fight should have went, if you thought Francis won, if you thought Fury won, regardless, it was a close fight. I thought that was going to be an issue for Francis because I didn't think anyone else would risk fighting him, you know, including AJ. Simply because the guy proved that he can box, right? I mean, I'm thinking Francis at the media workout where he looked slow, he looked kind of robotic. I was like, man, this is going to be easy work for Tyson Fury, you know? And clearly he wasn't, you know? And I know a lot of you guys like to just say, well, Fury didn't prepare. Fury didn't train, whatever. I'm not saying there's no truth in that. It could be a little true. But I also think that Francis is a lot better than what we expected, you know? He was a lot faster from what I saw in the fight. He was quicker than I thought he was going to be. I wasn't expecting him to look so well switching, you know, like tactically, like the timing was good. I would have to say, of course, he had power. He knew that he had a puncher's chance, but the timing was pretty good. The timing was good. The switching, Fury was big, but it didn't matter because Francis was too strong. So Fury trying to use his weight against Francis didn't work out for him as well. You know, the punch resistance is there. So these are all the advantages that he kind of has over a lot of the opponents, period, in all in boxing. Because Francis Ngannou is big. He's even bigger than AJ. He's bigger than AJ. AJ has always been, you know, he's tall, he's built, he's muscular. And now you're fighting another guy that is even bigger than you, more muscular than you are. And he got some tricks. Personally, the way I look at this fight, and I'll do a breakdown at some point, because we do have film now. We actually do have film. We can watch a Fury fight. I think there's probably going to be some more changes with Francis going into an AJ fight because AJ is a different fighter. But what I will say is that Francis is the better fighter than me. AJ is a better boxer. So AJ is a better boxer, but Francis is a better fighter to me. Right? Because he is still a fighter. He's not a boxer, but he is a fighter. And based on that performance, I wasn't mad at the rankings with Francis because I know he went a whole career not fighting guys and building his work in his way. But when you go straight into the fight with one of the best, if not the best fighter in the heavyweight division, Tyson Fury, and you look that good, yeah, we can sit here and make an argument that Fury is overrated because he beat who? Klitschko and Wilder? Okay, he still may be overrated, but he's still one of the very best based on his entire resume. You don't beat all of those people and just be okay. He might be overrated because there's people that go into this whole he's the best of all time talk. You know what I mean? And I never went there with it. It was always this generation. And in this generation, there's still a lot of unanswered questions. So Francis Ngannou proved to me that he can run with some of the best and probably beat some of these guys. But we still need to see more. And we're going to see more with AJ. We're going to see how we do with AJ. And AJ is a very risky fight. Why? Because just like Fury was a lose-lose situation. Because you beat the guy, you knock him out, no one's going to give you credit because you didn't fight a real boxer. You struggle a little bit, it's going to end up looking like a win for Francis and a loss for Fury, which is what happened. And if you lost a fight, obviously you lost a fight, and people are going to, and this guy's going to steal all of your shine. But he already stole a lot of it just by performing that well. So it's always going to be a lose-lose for Tyson Fury. And I look at it the same with AJ. I know Fury already fought him, so we have something to look back at and compare. But at the end of the day, if AJ gets the job done, he's going to get credit, and I'm sure he's getting paid. But is it a better win than beating Zhang? I don't think so. Or Hrgovic? I don't think so. You know? Or even Wilder. Is it better than beating Wilder? I don't know. You know? I don't think so. Because Francis, again, only fought one heavyweight. He's only did good against one guy. Even though that guy is one of the best. So I am surprised. I'm leaning towards AJ to win. I'm not sleeping on Francis, though. I slept on him the last time. I think him fighting as a southpaw, fighting righty this time would be a little bit more beneficial for Francis. I think him switching to southpaw might be an issue for him. I think he should avoid doing that. As I said, prior to the Otto Wallin fight, and even more now, AJ is pretty good against southpaws. I don't know what people created this whole thing where like he's not good against southpaws because he lost to Alexander Usyk. Ngannou, anybody that I've seen as a heavyweight that fights as southpaws are not good as Usyk. Usyk is on a different level. This is why AJ struggled against him. All right, and lost against him twice. So Francis, I think, needs to take a different approach. I think he surprised Fury with how he boxed. I think this fight here, he needs to be more of a fighter. I know conditioning is going to be a concern for him because as the fight goes on, you know, he's going to, you know, he paced himself pretty well against Fury because there was times where he looked like he was getting tired, but he brought it back. So I think fighting AJ, though, I think he should take a more aggressive approach, especially early, because some people still think AJ is chinny, or they think that, you know, he has some mental issues and stuff like that. I think that Francis should take a different approach and be a little bit more aggressive to AJ, being that he has been stopped before. You know, he's been hurt a few times. He's been stopped before. Francis is a monstrous puncher, you know, and it's a dangerous fight for AJ. It's a dangerous fight. I think it's a dangerous fight for anyone. If AJ wins the fight, I think Francis still have opportunities. You know, you'll never know. You never know. I think Wilder's supposed to be fighting Zhang on his card. I've read two different things. I've heard that Zhang is going to be next, and I've heard that Wilder and Zhang is going to be on the card. I don't know if they're going to be fighting each other, right? So I don't know what's the true story with that, but Francis is still going to have opportunities, especially if he does well here, even if he loses. But if he wins, that could be big, you know? And it tells more on the story of, like, you know, AJ just came off, and it's funny, AJ's taking a fight when he's coming off of a win against a fighter that gave Fury trouble. He already did that. So fighting another Fury fighter, what's the point? I guess the point is the money. I guess the Saudis made everybody happy, and this is why he's getting in a fight just less than a few months after his previous fight, which is good. I like the fact that Saudis are making these guys stay active. That's dope. Anyway, I'm not completely against the fight. I'm cool with the fight. You know, especially now because I see Francis box now. So I'm cool with the fight. But I still would have preferred the Zhang or the Hrgovic fight, you know, or whatever, even Wilder. I would have preferred those fights. But Francis, he earned respect from performing that way against Fury. I think he had the best performance as a crossover MMA fighter coming over to boxing. We seen Conor do it. He did have some success with his awkwardness earlier in the Floyd Mayweather fight before he got tired. We see Anderson Silva do pretty well, beating Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. and, you know, picking up some other decent fights as a boxer. But he's had experience boxing before. But anyway, I think Francis did the best, you know, and I think he could get AJ trouble because he is pretty fast. We know he's very powerful. He's stronger and he's bigger and he's more durable than Anthony Joshua. And it's just a different fight than what AJ's usually into. Has AJ fought a consistent switcher before? Has he fought anyone as awkward as Francis? It's not an easy fight, man. It's not. It's a very, very dangerous fight, and I'm very surprised they're taking it. So that's my thoughts on that, man. I'll speak more about the fight soon. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. All right, and subscribe to the channel. See you on the next one. Peace.